Hey, friends, welcome back to Joy at Work. It's so great to be with you again. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe. Thanks for spending a few minutes to reflect with me on the things we can do to experience joy at work as individuals and as a collective. It's better when we're all enjoying it together. So, we've been talking about needs, and I don't know how much left I've got on needs, but I think needs matter. They're important. We want to get them met in the workplace as well. Sometimes we are looking to get our needs met in the workplace, and that's a mistake. But other times it's the right thing to do. And sometimes we need to fight for our needs and fight for our needs being to be met with other people as well. And yet we also have to be very, very careful about the degree to which we expect our needs to be met. Because sometimes we create a fantasy for ourselves. And I'm talking about fantasy in the sense, the Lacanian sense. There are other ways of thinking about fantasy, and we might talk about this over the next couple of weeks. But sometimes we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves unconsciously and then work towards those because we feel like or we believe that the absence of the thing or the lack of the thing is a legitimate gap. And so we're doing everything we can do to close that gap. For example, you might just want like recognition from everybody all the time. That's something you might want, something you may desire. Again, being recognized at work matters, but recognition from everyone in every situation for everything we do is just unrealistic because human beings are flawed. Even if somebody wanted to recognize you, they may go or they might forget to do so. That's what happens even with the best of us. But when we establish this fantasy, if you will, or this desire to be recognized in every situation, what we do then is we work so hard to be recognized. And when we're not recognized, we take it upon ourselves to say, maybe we didn't do enough. Maybe I should do something different next time. And so I'm going to work harder. And that's just one example. I've used recognition, but this can show up in different ways. If we have just the perfect methodology, or if we have the right communication system, or if we establish XYZ, we will never deal. I will never deal with all these problems. And my needs will be met. My need for order, my need for structure, whatever your needs are, will be met. These fantasies really obscure or hide the realities of the world. And we'll talk in a later video on like transcending the fantasy or working through the fantasy. But I'm really just setting up this video to like challenge you to reflect on some of the fantasies you may have that you might not be aware of. Like some of us would just want things to always be ordered, no chaos, whatever. Or some of us believe that if this methodology or practice or whatever you want to call it were just fully adopted, we will have zero problems. Like what's getting in the way is the full adoption of XYZ. Or how about uncertainty? Some of us like operate from a place of if we just did more planning, if we did more conversations, if we did all these things, there will be zero uncertainty. And I want to be careful here. I'm not saying that we should not do any planning. I'm not saying we should not try and improve. We'll talk about this later. But I am talking about this fantasy, which is the elimination of the just the uncertain, the humanness of the situations we find ourselves in, trying to eliminate any kind of error or mistake and just live in perfection constantly. Now that's a fantasy. And we kind of enact those fantasies or yeah, enact those fantasies sort of as we engage with each other. So here's a question for you. What's the fantasy or what fantasies do you have about work, about your needs being met? I'm curious. You care to share? Do you think about it this way? Have you ever explored or contemplated the notion that you might have some fantasies that are unconscious to you, but because they are structured and set in the way you think about work and the world in general, they inform your actions, they inform the way you respond, they inform the things you do. So there you have it. What fantasies do you have, and how might they not be serving you in the best way? All right, I'll see you next time. Until then, be well.